Today we're making this beautiful apple caramel cake with a homemade caramel glaze. Absolutely decadent. So delicious, so easy to make. Want to see how we do it? Just keep watching. Oh, and then we made sangria too. There it is. Oh, so good. Yay. All right, so for this recipe, we're gonna start by mixing all the dry ingredients. So in a large bowl, you're gonna start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 cups of packed brown sugar, sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we need 1/2 cup of regular sugar, just regular old granulated sugar. That's 1/2 cup. All right, so now we're gonna mix this all together to break down the sugar, to make sure we don't have any clumps, and to make sure all the ingredients are fully incorporated. All right, so give it a nice stir. All right, so once you have all your ingredients fully blended, in a separate bowl, you're gonna add 3 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of sour cream. If you don't wanna use sour cream, you can use just plain Greek yogurt or just regular yogurt. Or you can use butter, but I recommend the sour cream. It just makes the cake so super moist and delicious. So I wouldn't skimp out on that one. All right, then we're gonna add 1 cup of vegetable oil. Now it seems like a lot, but we're making a big cake. All right. And then just about 1/3 cup of apple cider. Really drill that apple flavor home. If you don't want to use apple, if you don't have apple cider, just do another 1/4 cup of olive oil. All right. So now we are going to mix this all together until we have no lumps and it's all nice and creamy. Got to really break down that sour cream. Helps if you have it at room temperature for a little bit, which of course I didn't do again. And probably using a whisk would probably help too. So I'm gonna get a whisk. Using the whisk definitely made this a lot faster. All right, so now we're ready to pour our wet into our dry, and then we're gonna blend this all together. And so you have no lumps, it's all nice, smooth, and creamy. And we have a nice cake batter. All right. So now we're going to mix this all together. Again, you don't want any lumps. And again, I probably should be using that whisk. All right, so we're going to whip this together. All right, just like that. Look how beautiful this batter is. Look at it. Doesn't that just look luscious? Nice. All right, so now we're ready for our apples. You're going to need 3 cups of diced apples. These 2 giant apples should be more than enough. I'm using Granny Smith. You definitely want to use a more tart apple, but whatever apples you got, you're going to need, like I said, about 3 cups diced. You want to make the dice relatively small, unless you want to bite into a big piece of apple while you're eating the cake. Whatever size you want, but I'm probably going to cut them to about that big, about 1/2-inch pieces. All right, so we're going to wash, peel, core, and dice them up. You don't want to see me do that, right? So next time you see these, they're going to be diced. And through the magic of television, our apples are diced. You'll see I made them, it's like 1/4-inch dice. You need 3 cups total. This is probably a little bit more, but why not? So now we're going to get these right into our batter and fold them in. But before we fold them, we're going to have one more thing. Because I like things over the top. So we are going to add 1 cup, give or take, of caramel chips. Because who doesn't like caramel apples? So we're just going to throw these right in here. Just about a cup. Want to use less, you can use less. Want to use more, use more. You personalize this however you want. All right, that's about a cup. Now we're going to gently fold this all together. So Everything is nice and incorporated. Try not to beat up the apples too much because then they're going to start releasing a lot of liquid and it's going to make this batter very, very, very wet. So you want to be very gentle when you're folding this in. All right. Just about done. Here, I smell the caramel. All right. And now this is ready for the Bundt pan. All right, so here I have my, it's either a 10 or a 12 cup Bundt pan. I'm not sure. It's at least 10 cups that I sprayed thoroughly with a non-stick cooking spray. You could always do the butter and flour trick too, but that just seems like a lot of work. And, and it really does the same thing. So if you got the cooking spray, go for it. But if you don't, like I said, use the flour and the butter trick. All right, so now we are going to spoon our batter into our Bundt pan. Just so we get these ingredients all nice and mixed. Looks so good. Does this not look already super decadent? Right? Looks so nice. All right, so we're going to continue to do this until we use up all of our batter. Fun. Just like that. And now it's ready for the oven. So you're going to bake this in a preheated 325 degree oven for probably about 50 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes, depending on how many apples you use, how big of the pan you have, you know, your oven. Every oven's different. So what you want to do at around the 50-minute mark, you want to use the toothpick trick. If it comes out clean, it's good to go. The batter is still wet, you still need to cook it. And then check it every 5 minutes after that. All right, so now into the oven, it's going to go. Oh, I forgot to dice up some of these apples. What can I do with this? I know! We're going to make a fall-inspired sangria. That's right, it's cocktail time. Yeah! All right, so for today's fall harvest sangria, you're going to start with 1 bottle of red wine. A bigger picture than I thought. You want to use a nice rich red. I recommend a nice like rich Cabernet or a robust red blend. I'm using a red blend today. All right, and to this we are going to add 1 cup of rum. I don't play games with my sangria either. All right, there's a cup. We are going to do a 1/4 cup of limoncello. If you don't have limoncello, you can use a lemon vodka. That would work as well. But the lemon's really going to bring out a little sweetness and a nice brightness. All right, we're going to do a 1/4 cup of apple schnapps. All right, then we're going to do a 1.5 cups of cranberry juice. That's about a 1.5 cups. And then we're going to do a 1.5 cups of apple cider. All right, see, so now all that booze I put in there doesn't seem too menacing, right? All right, so we're gonna give this a nice stir. And then we are gonna garnish with those apple slices and some cranberries. So I always like to keep a nice bag of frozen cranberries in my freezer, because you never know when you're gonna need them, like today. All right, so now we're ready to pour. Got our glass. Oh, look how rich and red that is. Isn't that beautiful? All right, time to taste. Cheers. Oh, can't really taste the apple. Be right back. All right, I'm back. That's better. All right, I upped the apple cider to 2 cups. So it's gonna be 2 cups of apple cider with a 1.5 cups of the cranberry juice. But it's so nice. It's so luscious. It tastes like fall in a glass. Oh, it's so nice. You can even throw in like a cinnamon stick with this if you wanted to go, you know, the full fall flavor, but it really doesn't need it. It's just such a lovely thing. I make this for Thanksgiving every year. My family loves this because it's just, because you get the apple, the cranberry, the little hints of lemon. Oh, and the rum just finishes it nice. So if you try the sangria, let us know. Cheers. All right, so after you made your sangria, it's so good, and you're waiting for your cake to cook, we're gonna make the caramel sauce topping. You didn't think I was gonna be done there, right? So in a saucepan, you're going to add 1 cup of packed brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of milk or heavy cream if you want to use that instead, along with 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. We're going to melt this all together, and then we're going to bring it to a soft boil, and we're going to allow this to cook for about 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes until it's nice and thick. All right, so let's see how this comes out. So once everything's melted, you'll see it's kind of boiling nice. I'm going to lower the heat just a little bit so it's a softer boil, and we're going to allow this to reduce. And you'll see it's going to thicken up beautifully. All right, so like I said, 5 to 7 minutes, and it's going to be ready to go. But keep an eye on it because it might boil over on you. So I'm going to lower the heat a little bit more. All right, catastrophe averted. Phew. That's that soft boil. All right, so after about 7 minutes, this is thickened up a little bit. You can see it has a beautiful nappe. Look at that. Look at that rich caramel. Oh. All right, so once it cools, it's going to thicken up significantly more. All right, but we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to this once we take it off the heat. Just give that a little extra flavor, you know, a little bit more depth. All right, so now we're going to add that caramel, that vanilla. All right, so in exactly 1 hour and 3 minutes later, you know, I like to be precise with my times. The cake's ready. But, oh, look at it. I told you it was huge. This thing's massive, massive. Oh, that's sangria. Massive. And then we need to make this cool too. So we're gonna allow the cake to cool for at least probably about an hour in the pan and then about 2 hours out of the pan. We'll flip it over because this needs to cool as well. But look how luscious this became. Do you see this? It's getting thicker and thicker as time's going on. Oh, I can't wait. This is gonna be on top of that, right? All right, so we'll see this in a couple hours. All right, so the cake has had ample time to cool. You'll see it got stuck a little bit on the top, the bottom where the caramel chips stuck to the pan. You live and learn. All right, but now I had to reheat the caramel sauce a little bit because it got so thick that it wouldn't work, and I wouldn't be able to do this. So now we're ready to pour this on. Let's see how this looks. Look at this. Oh, does that just not look heavenly? Oh my gosh. Yes, Lulu, it's coming. It's coming. I'm almost done. But look how good this looks. Seriously? Wow. 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 That's all of it. And that's plenty. Is that not gorgeous? The caramel sauce fixed all the mistakes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, now we're gonna let it set for a sec before we try it. Lulu, you gotta let the caramel set. The caramel needs to set. It's almost ready to try, but we gotta let it set, okay? And this is Doug's birthday cake anyway. This is your cake. See how happy he is? You don't get to try it first. Doug gets to try it first. It's not your birthday. It's not your birthday. But wow, that looks so good. So I cut the first slice. Look at this. Look at this thing. Oh, taste test time. Me first, Lulu. Me first. Bon appetit. Oh my God. Yum. This cake is so moist. Get the cinnamon, the apples. The apples just stayed so tart. Oh, and then that caramel. Absolutely divine. Such a good cake. So easy to make. Sure, it took a little over an hour in the oven, but so worth it. So worth it. Oh my gosh. All right, so if you try this recipe, let us know. Thanks for watching. Oh my gosh, this cake is everything. So good. Oh, hello. Well, I guess this is Doug's birthday cake. All right, Doug, we're gonna cut you a cake. We're gonna cut you a slice. And then, Lily, you'll get some too. No, Doug gets it first. It's his birthday cake. It's his birthday cake. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Let Doug have his day, right? Let Doug have his day. Sheesh. Fine, I'll cut you a slice too. I'll cut you a slice too. I'll hurry.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Poppy's Cucina. Thanks!
Happy birthday, dear Doug. Drake! Oh my god. Oh my god. Happy birthday.